Good morning from somewhere on the Pacific Ocean. I'm Steven, she's Andy, and today we're coming to you from aboard our first cruise ever.
Yeah, as first-time cruisers, you can bet that we have learned a lot in just the few days that we've been here, and that's why we wanted to make this video for you. If you're considering taking your first cruise, we have some do's and don'ts for you, both for before your trip while planning, and also while you're on board. So let's get right into it.
Number 1, do use a travel agent.
Definitely. I consider myself a really good researcher, and I was online for weeks before we booked this cruise. I thought I'd found the best deals. They were offering all kinds of incentive packages on top of great rates. But my family encouraged us to reach out to their friend Dale at Treat Yourself Travel, and I should not have been at all surprised when she came back with a much better rate than the one I had found. And I was looking at a cruise line with an ocean view room, nice window. I thought that would be good. No, she got us a balcony. We had a couple of requirements. We definitely wanted to do the Inside Passage, and we had to do Glacier Bay National Park. Yeah. And only certain cruise lines are allowed to go in there at certain times a year. So that kind of narrowed the choices for us. Thankfully, Dale has a lot of experience with cruises, and she knows exactly what kind of crowd each one caters to. So she was able to direct us to the one that she thought would be best for us. So definitely find yourself a really good, trusted travel agent, because they're gonna have access to deals, to special incentives, even more than what you're gonna probably find on your own. Number 2, don't rule out an obstructed view.
Definitely. Check with your travel agent, maybe do a little research yourself about your particular ship. In our case, we've got an orange lifeboat right outside of our balcony, but at the same time, we've got the ocean beyond that and the shoreline, so we're having no problem seeing amazing views over that boat. It's not really obstructing us all that much. And if you're looking to travel on a bit of a budget, that'll save you a good amount of money.
Absolutely. Would have cost us about $1,000 more for an unobstructed view room. And honestly, it doesn't bother us that much to have it there. Plus, as I mentioned before, we thought we'd only have an ocean view with a window. So, score, we got outdoor space.
Yeah. Number 3, do some math before splurging on that specialty drink package.
For a lot of people, they really don't add up. Kind of depends on you and how big of a drinker you are. Maybe because you're on vacation, you're gonna go crazy. Hey, we're not judging. But for us, we're casual drinkers. Maybe 1 or 2 a day if we're vacationing. I don't even think we've been drinking daily, have we?
Nope.
But the one thing to keep in mind as well is the drinks package also goes towards specialty coffees. The standard package only gives you the regular brewed coffees in the dining rooms. So if you're big coffee drinkers like we are, that might start to add up a little bit for you. Also, some cruises, unfortunately ours is not one of them, have juice bars. It would also cover your juice bars, so you'd get fresh, pressed juice. I was really hoping we'd get some of those, but unfortunately no. So do the math, because if you're not gonna drink that much, just a couple coffees or a couple alcoholic beverages each day, you're actually gonna do better to pay cash. Now in our case, it was an add-on. It was a perk to get people back out cruising again. So, well, you know we're gonna take advantage.
Absolutely.
Number 4, don't skimp on the internet package. I know you think you're gonna be unplugged, just relaxing on your vacation, but then you're gonna wanna text family or friends, or maybe post that really cute picture you just took. Then you're gonna be in your cabin relaxing, and you're gonna wanna stream your favorite Netflix show. It all adds up, and they charge you by the data you use. So it just makes sense to go ahead, splurge for the package in advance, get it booked and taken care of, and then you won't get hit with a nasty bill at the end of your trip. Also, make sure you book in advance, because things cost more once you're on the ship. Just get it taken care of in advance, you got nothing to worry about on your vacation.
Number 5, do put your phone in airplane mode. Cell networks don't extend into the open water, and you'll probably find yourself in a situation where you're roaming. And if you have to connect to the ship's satellite network, that is gonna cost you some bucks.
Yeah, don't do it. You're gonna get hit with a nasty bill at the end of your trip.
Number 6, don't be intimidated by cruise culture.
Have you noticed that there are these communities of avid and frequent cruisers, especially on YouTube? We certainly did as we were researching this trip, and I gotta be honest, we found it a bit intimidating. These people love the onboard activities, the shows, the dining, the formal nights. These are all things that we really didn't envision ourselves getting too much into, aside from the dining, of course. However, once you're on board, it turns out none of that matters. You can't tell who's an avid cruiser, who's part of the cruise culture, and who's a first-timer or casual cruiser like we are. We can just choose our own adventures, opt into anything that looks fun to us. You can go enjoy a show, you can enjoy the casino, or you can do none of it. Whatever you want, it's totally up to you because everybody else is just as busy as you are enjoying their own vacations. So they're not worried about you and what you're doing either. And who knows, after your first cruise or two, you might find that the shows and the formal nights are a big part of what you end up enjoying on cruises. And this cruise culture could be your people. That could be pretty awesome too. Number 7, do take a water bottle. The water on these ships is totally drinkable. And if you're like us and you like a little bit of extra filtration, you can always get a bottle that has a filter in it. We have one by Brita and we love it. We'll link to it below in case you want to check it out. They do have bottled water available on the ship as well if you don't like tap, but honestly, who needs all that extra waste?
Number 8, do book the early excursions. Booking early excursions helps motivate you to disembark your ship sooner after it arrives in a new location. And then if your excursion is only a short part of your time in a port, say 3 hours out of 9, you get the rest of the day to explore the town on your own before returning to ship. It's a great way to maximize your time in a port and see more. And hopefully that's why you're going there, because why spend more time on the ship when you have days at sea for that?
Number 9, don't get left behind. You need to operate strictly according to the ship's time. And if you are 1 minute late, you could be left behind in port. They're gonna take off without you, they're not waiting. So make sure you get back to the ship when they tell you to get back to the ship, or better yet, early.
Number 10, don't wait until you're on board to book things.
Yeah, just like we mentioned earlier with the internet packages, things are more expensive once you're on board. That goes for drink packages and especially excursions. So do as much planning as you can in advance, choose everything on the website or in the app beforehand, book your excursions, and again, so much less to worry about once you're on your vacation. Number 11, do be aware of your cruise line's dress code. There's a dress code on many cruise ships. In our case, Princess Cruises is mostly smart casual. We pretty much live in jeans, and we were able to wear our jeans with no problems most nights. But we made sure they had a nice fit and didn't bring any that have holes or tears in them. There are areas and events on many cruise lines, however, that call for more formal attire. In some cases, full-on gowns and tuxedos. We're definitely not the formal dress types, especially on vacation, so while we opted out of the more formal events and dining options ourselves, we did bring cute outfits to dress up just a little one of the nights, and we treated it like a date night.
Number 12.
Do bring cash.
Yeah, most cruise lines do claim to be cash-free, but there are going to be some things you will need cash for, primarily tipping your crew.
Absolutely, and also when you're in shore excursions, some of the businesses will be willing to haggle with you on prices a bit if you've got cash to offer instead of charge. Number 13, make sure you bring everything you need. They do have a lot of amenities here on board, little conveniences. You can get things like Advil or toothpaste, anything that you might forget of that sort, but it is gonna cost you. These are resort prices because these are floating resorts. So anything that you can think of in advance, make sure you pack it with you. It's just gonna save you some extra cash and hassle once you're here. Number 14.
Do learn from frequent cruisers.
Yeah, there are so many people out there who cruise, it seems like year round. I think it's their jobs to just go from cruise to cruise to cruise, back to back. It's amazing. I'm kind of jealous. The thing is, they make these amazing blogs and videos here on YouTube. You can learn so much from these people, and we watched a lot of this before we came on ours. There are certain things we never would have been prepared for if not for them and our travel agent. So we're gonna link below to a couple of the channels that we got a lot of information on, and definitely take advantage of their knowledge. They know the different cruise lines. They know the ships inside and out. Some of the crew, they can tell you what's great, what's not, what to watch out for, all the ins and outs. It's gonna be such a huge help for you when you go out on your first time, and quite frankly, when you go out for your 10th, 20th time. I feel like there's so much to learn that you could keep learning every single time you go. We've got a bonus don't for you, and this is a big one. Do not fly in the same day as your cruise. A lot of people do it, and it's totally fine. They have no problem getting from the airport to the port, smooth sailing the whole way. But honestly, if you end up with a situation like we have, it could be a disaster.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah, our bags didn't make the connection in Chicago O'Hare, so we got to Seattle, we had no suitcases. Fortunately, we flew in the night before, and our bags made it on another flight a few hours later. Everything worked out just fine. But if we'd flown in that morning, we wouldn't have had a few hours to spare, and we'd be freezing our tuchuses off wearing the same summer clothes we flew in.
So that's our list. If you've got anything more to add, put it in the comments below.
That's right. We really appreciate you joining us today, and we can't wait to take you on the next adventure. See ya!
See you next time.